Before we begin this commentary, there are a couple things I need to address first. First of all, the reason why we have a Game 2 and a Game 3 but we won't have a Game 1 is because I initially planned to only film the finals of this BCS, but upon seeing that our last trains were coming up quite soon, I realized that I couldn't stay for the finals, so I suddenly just took my camera and jumped into Game 2 of this semifinals between Harth and Liubo, playing Spikes and Royals respectively. So the game is already underway by a little bit, just like the first turns of both players, so it's not too big of a deal to be missing that, but I'm going to try and give you the best commentary that I can for this Game 2 and Game 3. So let's get into it. Alright, so as we can see, Harth had a crit on his first turn, and now Liubo got his Wingle Brave off, and he's searching for the blaster. So this is basically the first turn of Liubo's just ending, and we had the first turn of Harth, which dealt 2 damage to Liubo. So as I said earlier, we did start recording a little bit late for this one, so it's a bit of a problem, but it shouldn't be too bad. So Harth's turn 2 begins, and I was going to have the Grade 2 ride. He goes into the X Diver. So Spikes coming to top 4 is definitely a very big achievement for Harth, and he doesn't get a crit, but Liubo does heal, so he's still on his 2 damage, so that is definitely quite nice. So now Liubo gets his turn 2, and he's gonna go into the Liu, so he does have the blaster name now, and he's gonna call out the Benon to search himself one of the 6Ks in his deck that he can call behind it. So he's gonna search out the Soul Blast one to draw. So we're gonna Soul Blast his Barkle and draw, and I think he drew into a heal. So now he calls out a Liu and a Barkle. I apologize for the glare, but on Liubo's side for some reason it was very glary, so I'm just gonna call out all the cards that he uses. So he attacks with the Liu, and no pass from Harth, and that's no trigger either. He just got the 6K Soul Blast one to draw. And Harth gets the heal. That doesn't heal, but he does get the 5. And now Liubo can still hit with a 14 onto Harth's Grade 2, and he's going to take that other damage. So now he's on 3 damage, and he did get a Stride Fodder in his damage zone as well. So Harth is going to go into his Rising Nova, so the signature card of the deck, and he won't be able to stride yet, but he is going to call out the Misery, the Grade 1, as well as the I forgot the name of his other Grade 2 that he called out, but it's one of the on-hit pressure ones. So he's going to search out his PG with the Mecha Trainer. That's definitely a good choice because, you know, as we all know, Mecha Trainer can choose any Grade 1 in the deck and search it out for 1 counterblast and retiring it. So the PG is a definitely good target. Other good targets are his Stride Fodders and so on. So now he gets the one of the Benons gone, so now he's gonna attack with a 10, and Liubo's gonna drop the heal to put the 10k down. So that's an interesting move because he gives up one of his G guards essentially, but you know, not a bad choice. And now the Liu gets taken down from Liubo's side as well, so that's quite a lot of aggressive power going down. So far, Harth is looking quite good in this game. Liubo is slightly lagging behind, but not too bad. He does go into the Sanctuary, not going to use his skill. He's gonna... Oh no, he will use the skill to drop the Think Saver to search out a Grade 1. He searches out the Soul Blast 1 to draw a card once again. So he's going to Soul Blast the Liu, and Harth is just going to cut his deck. Well, shuffle it as well, essentially. So, and I was gonna draw his 1 card, and now he should still be able to drop the Stride Fodder to Stride. I don't think he would have dropped the to drop the Think Saver if he didn't have another Stride Fodder. So let's see what he decides to do, because he can Stride and he should really go for this. So yeah, okay, he's gonna drop the actual Stride Fodder, and he's probably gonna go into Regalia or Fetus. Those are both 2 good targets, and it's looking like that. Yes, he's going into the Fetus. So he's going to be able to get himself a card from this, but less of a power pressure that Regalia would be able to get. So he's going to discard the card, and he's going to call out his Liu, so that's going to open up quite a few potential combos, but he doesn't have the blaster name, so that is, you know, something to keep in mind. And now he's going to attack with the Stride. Let's see what he does. Alright, there's a Blaster Blade Seeker, a heal, and a Sanctuary Guard. So now he's down to 1 damage, while Harth is going to be going up to 3, and he doesn't get the trigger either. So this is going to be a 21, oh no, a 24 I believe, with the Liu skill. And let's see what Harth is going to do. This is a 15k shield for him. He could G-guard it, or he could decide to take it, but it might be a bit too dangerous because he already has 3 counterblasts to work with. So so that's enough for quite a few combos. So I'm not sure if it's really necessary to make the gap between damage even bigger. So he will G-Guard, and he's going to go into the Fighter Selection one, which does get plus 5k if you have, I believe, less rear guards than your opponent, or I believe that's what the skill is. So now Liubo uses the Liu skill to get his Blaster Blade out, and he does get the plus 3k as well. And now this is going to be attacking for 18 if I'm not mistaken, or yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it should be that. So now Liubo does have this final attack going for him, and let's see what Harth is going to do. We do see heal in his hand and 2 perfect guards, so that is part of the consideration, and he's going to take it. Yes, he does take it, and there goes one of his grade 3s, which is the one that when it's charging it gets plus 10k power. So I believe he only has 1 in his deck list. So you can actually check the decks on the official Vanguard website, so I will put that in the description if you want to take a look at them and check the names of the cards and whatnot, if I do forget some, especially for the spikes. So now Harth does get his first stride going, and he does have a face-up G-Guard, so he can go into one of the GB2, GB3 strides. So let's see what he decides to go for. So they're just checking. Harth's asking what, like, how many cards in hand Liubo has. They are talking in Dutch since they are both Dutch speaking, so I can't interpret everything they're saying, unfortunately. But let's see what Harth decides to go for, because I'm not sure, because Liubo is only on 1 damage. Even going with a really aggressive turn right now, you won't be able to, most likely won't be able to finish off the game on this turn. I feel it's a bit, some aggro is fine, but you can't overextend too much, because then you're not going to have enough resources left to survive the next turn. So Harth does need to be careful on this one, and he does go into the Miracle Ace, and he only runs 2 of those in his deck, so this is going to be the only one he has. So that's going to open up a few multi-attacking possibilities, along with Rising Nova's Stride skill. So we can see Harth's hand pretty well. 2 PGs, a heal, and 2... No, that's 1 stand and 1 Mayhem Tiger. So overall okay, the Mayhem Tiger might be more useful later on when the damage is much bigger on Liubo's side, because then that's when Mayhem Tiger I feel is the most pressuring. So Liubo guards with the Blaster Blade Seeker, and now Harth is going to attack with the Miracle Ace, and he's going to use a skill to put 1 into the Soul and counterblast 1, and I believe he gets to search out anything. And he's gonna search out the Frog Raider, which is a really good card, because every time a not a rush, I apologize, a charge gets called in front of him, he gets to stand, so that opens up a lot of possibilities for multi-attacks, so it's definitely pretty good. But now Harth is still using this opportunity to check his deck for what is left and what kind of combo pieces he can still go into. He might even change his selection. So he decides to change his mind. He's not going to use the Frog Raider from that search, he's going to take the Axe Diver. So that's going to be allowing him to basically recall one of his, well, the grade 2 that has already attacked for an extra attack. But apart from that, he might be able to pair it up with the Maximum, but, just to recycle it next turn. But apart from that, I'm not too sure what else this line of play is doing. But I guess, like, he called it to the back just to recycle it with the Maximum. So there's a bunch of power being added here and there. So the X-Diver also got some power, but it's not going to be the most useful in this battle, on this battle phase at least. So Liubo still has to decide if he wants to guard against the Stride or not. He is on 1 damage, so he could afford to risk it. He's checking the amount of cards in Harth's hand, and we're not too sure what... okay, no, he's gonna take it. So Harth gets a Mayhem Tiger, a draw. He's gonna give the power to his left side rearguard, and he gets a crit too, so that's gonna be dealing at least 2 damage. So yeah, and he does give the crit to the Vanguard, so he did clarify that. So there's a crit in Liubo's damage zone and another crit, so he's on 21k. Definitely quite good for him, definitely quite good. So now this is a 16 if I'm not mistaken, so this will not be hitting the Sanctuary Guard, so he's considering if he wants to use the skill because it doesn't hit. So this should be, well, a total of 26. Yeah, it should be 26 with all the skills considered. So Liubo just drops a 10k to guard that, and it looks like he gives a skill, from the skill he gets to 5k, so let's hit for 21k, and Liubo drops to 5k to guard that, and now use the Miracle Ace skill to... Oh, he's going to use that before he attacks, so the attack of the Windkiss Misery is being undone, so he calls out the Stand, which will have a 7k on its own, and then that's about about it. I'm not sure what else he gets from that. Liubo's checking skills because, you know, I think a lot of us weren't that well versed with Spike Brothers before this tournament. So even me included, like I had to check quite a lot of things. So the Wing Killer Misery will now be able to search out something to boost the stand trigger. So this is a pretty good line of play from Harth. Definitely a good choice. So he gets the draw in the soul as well. That's basically the reason why Spike Brothers players play a lot of draws. Apart from, you know, being able to having a chance really to draw into something. It's not really that certain, but the fact that you put so many cards from hand into soul, you know, the best target in the end is the draws. You don't really want to be putting much else in there, whether it's utility units or if it's other triggers. So Liubo does take that attack, so he's going up to 4 now, all the way from 1. So next turn might be very dangerous for Liubo if he's not able to finish it off on his upcoming turn. So now he has another attack, so this should be a... God, how much will this be? Because it's 7 plus it's 14, normally 19 I think. So that's going to kill the Blaster Blade. And now the stand is going to go back, and he's going to use the Miracle Aid to Soul Blast another 2. And God, is he trying to finish off the game? Also, the Miracle Ace should be rested. He stood it by accident, I think, from all the Soul Blast, but I think I even pointed out while spectating at one point that the Miracle Ace should be rested. And now it's time for the Tiger, so he will have the chance to retire Guardians on this battle. So, okay, he finally rested his Vanguard, so just to clarify that. So let's see what he's gonna do. Because after this Mayhem Tiger, I don't think he has enough soul to keep on going. But Harth does have quite a few cards in hand as well, so it's looking quite good for him. And now Liubo does have to... he has like 4 cards in hand, he doesn't have that much to work with. So, yeah, he has to also be careful with, well, you know, Mayhem Tiger as a whole. So he could just try to take this without too many risks. No, he's gonna drop this, and that's a total of 21, so that will protect against the attack. That's quite good, definitely quite good. So it's finally the end of Harth's turn, and now Liubo has a chance to fight back. Let's see what we can do, because Harth does have around 5 cards in hand, so with a very aggressive turn, Liubo could close it out. But if he's not able to, then it might just be, you know, a very hard next turn for him, because Harth has a full field, which is, you know, it is pretty good, because he can already work with some combos, but sadly, you know, not going to be able to charge too many things. But... yeah, let's see. He does go into the Aerial Altmal. He calls out his Twin Sword, so that's a bit of multi-attacking here and there. So that's already 1 Counterblast that's going to cost him. He calls out the Think Saber, and he attacks with it alone. He's just going the 11 on the Mayhem Tiger, so goodbye Mayhem Tiger. And this is a 20, I believe. If he didn't get... no, he's 22 because of the Aerial Altmal, my bad. So this is a 22, and he gets himself a Lu, so that's going to be able to give him more attacks, and obviously also eat up more Counterblast, but that is understandable, considering the deck that it is. So let's see how Harth is going to pull through this, because he still does have his Perfect Guard, or Perfect Guards, I believe. He's going to take that one, so going up to 5, so he's in that danger zone. But he does have the heal for the G-Guard, and there goes the Perfect Guard. He drops the draw for it, so it's pretty good for him. He's checking if he has any in his drop, and yes he does, so he does get the counter charge. And Liubo gets a Think Saver, a Banon, and a Sanctuary Guard. That's not the best drive check. That is really not the best drive check, especially for surviving next turn, if you can't finish it off with this on these next 2 attacks, really. So Harth does get the G-Guard. Will he go for the maximum? Or will he go... he's considering it. He still has other options. He's going for the Dismal to protect the Wing Killer Misery. Okay, so that was the play of that turn. Now he's gonna use the Liu and call out the Blaster Blade and hit for 12. And he should also get the counter charge. Oh no, he doesn't get the counter charge because he doesn't have the Blaster Vanguard, my bad. So, and that's the end of Liubo's turn. So, yeah, quite, he wasn't able to close it out, but Harth only has 2 cards in hand, and he doesn't even stride. He calls out the critical so that he gets more soul, and now he's going to be able to use the GB2 of his Rising Nova. So, interesting, you know, it's always nice to see Generation Break decks being able to function well even without stride, so Rising Nova is one of these. So, he gets the 16 and the draw, and I was going to be able to use the skill to put 1 card into the soul, I believe. Yes, he's going to put the Perfect Guard to call out anything. Ooh, and it's going to be... I forgot the name of this grade 3, but it's the one that after it battles, if it's charging, you can go to bottom deck, and then you can call out any card from your hand to attack again, and with the Frog Raider combo, he's going to be able to stand that as well to get other attacks. So this is looking quite bad for Liubo, because after this drive check, he's going to have at least 3 cards in hand. With draws, he might have even more. So it's going to be a lot of attacks that he can pull through. But I believe it does kind of cost a counterblast each time. I'm not too sure though. But okay, so this with this G-Guard, it is a no-pass attack. So now Harth gets a grade 2 and a critical. That's gonna hurt. He needs to decide where he's gonna put that first though. But the grade 2 is really good because he'll be able to call it out for a further attack. So he puts the crit on the left side rear guard, and he's gonna put the +5 on the Frog Raider, which is very understandable because that will keep restanding. So this is going to be a 23, I believe, with a crit. So that's going to be a 26 in defense. And now he's going to use a skill to counterblast 1, put it on the bottom deck, and call out most likely that grade 2 that he just drive checked. So he does have... I can't see what the last card, I think, is a Mayhem Tiger, possibly? I'm not too sure because it's a bit hard to see from this angle. But now Harth is going to check Liubo's drop zone to see what are the chances of him surviving. Because, you know, this is gonna be, you know, it's quite a tight situation. He has the opportunity to win here. Liubo only has 4 cards in hand, and he is on 4 damage, so there is a possibility that he could close this out, but let's see how that goes. So, and also in game 1, I forgot to mention this somehow, but Liubo did win game 1, so right now it's 0 for Harth and it's a 1 for Liubo. So if Liubo does win this one, he does go to finals immediately, but Harth is battling, you know, he's fighting back really hard, so let's see how this goes. This is a pretty big attack going right into him, so I believe it is a 23 swing without a crit though. So Liubo's gonna perfect guard it. He's gonna check his drop zone if he has another perfect guard to countercharge. Does not seem like he does. No, he doesn't. He's gonna use the Windkiller Misery to put the crit in the soul and call out another one of those grade 3s. He's gonna be able to do that combo once again. So let's see. That's a 16 hitting Liubo. And the other one is going to be in 28, and he's going to get the draw, and he's going to draw into the, I think that was a heal, he drew into the heal, he gets the G-Guard, and that is definitely very good. He might just be able to pull through this, and he has 2 cards left in hand, I think, and there is one more attack coming through, and it's the Mayhem Tiger. This might prove to be very problematic. Liubo's already trying to start his turn, but he realized that there's still one more attack coming through, and this is a problem. This might just be it. Liubo, he drew into that heal, which let him G-Guard, but damn, this might just be it. I think Harth got this game too pretty well, and this Mayhem Tiger is proving to be a very big problem. And yeah, even though Liubo has 2 cards in hand, we can't really see. We know that one of them is a Blaster Blade, I believe, but, or no, it's Benon, I think, but I don't know what the other one is because I can't really see it from this angle. So yeah, this is quite the predicament that Liubo's in. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to handle this, apart from hoping for heal. And nope, it's a crit, and Harth takes game 2, so we've got 1-1 going into game 3 of the BCS Netherlands semifinals.